Start by making some sauces today. We are doing sesame chicken, cauliflower fried rice. We're going to make the sesame chicken sauce, and we're going to make some cauliflower fried rice. So to start us off, the stir fry sauce. For that, we need half a cup. I've got low sodium gluten free tamari. We're going with half a cup of that. And then we need 1/2 cup. I'm using chicken bone broth because the hubs and I have been having some joint issues. So this is good to have around. I haven't used this brand in a while. And sometimes I don't really like the taste of it, of bone broth. But when it's in a sauce, you tend not to taste it as much. So now there is a brand that I use. They just don't carry it at Costco. So I grabbed what they had at Costco. They do have it in the beef broth, the one I like. And I can't remember the name of it right now, which is why I didn't tell you. Okay, I need some fresh ginger. I didn't make it to the Asian market this weekend, and the stuff at my Kroger looked terrible. So this says 2 tablespoons of that. That's close. All right. Then I need 2 cloves of garlic. I went ahead and chopped those up before you guys got here. I was hanging out with a friend. Oh, by the way, look. Cool, huh? My friend did that for me. That's from our logo. So, hey, Joan. So I was pretty excited about that. She's going to do another one for me for a white apron. So I'm really excited. But we've been working at this for a while now. Oh, so that was 2 cloves of garlic going in there. And then I need a tablespoon of cornstarch. Did you have a good weekend, Joan? I haven't talked to you online. I haven't seen any posts from you because I haven't really been online that much. It's been kind of nuts. Alrighty, there's my tablespoon of cornstarch. I might need that again, so I'm just going to set that aside. You know what? I'm going to set it aside, but I am going to put the lid on it because I know me. So thank you. Isn't that awesome? I love it that my friend did that for me. Tablespoon of honey. Let's do that. I'm going to eyeball that one. That's about right. So, yeah, we just did this about an hour ago. So I was pretty darn excited about that. And then I need a teaspoon of sesame oil. Alrighty. So sesame chicken is something that was like my favorite thing to order when I could still eat gluten, and I haven't had it for years. So I saw this recipe and I thought I can make that gluten free, and so I am, and I'm excited about it. And I have the nuggets that we tried not too long ago. Wow. Okay. Well, I'll have to send you a DM a little bit later then. Maybe we can jump on a phone call or something. So for those of you who might be watching, Joan and I have known each other online for over a decade now. And while we've never met face to face, we have talked on the phone before. So I am going to give this a little taste. Oh, that's good. That was really good. I'm going to put just a little more honey in there. It needs just a tiny bit of sweet. Alrighty. Still a tiny bit of bitterness in there. A little bit more honey. That ought to do it. Ought to be more than enough. Okay. Yeah, doctor's appointments. We have a lot more of those when we get up there in our 60s, don't we? That'll work. All right, we're going to set that aside. Next, we're going to make our sesame chicken sauce. And for that, I need a teaspoon of oil. I need some more garlic. Pop that in there. The thing is, Asian sauces often have the same base. Soy sauce, garlic, sometimes onion, rice vinegar. This one's got honey in it. I should have done these first. So I need a 1/4 cup of honey. And I need a 1/4 cup of tamari. So we're going to get that done. And the reason I picked this really, really large vessel for this, just a little more, I think, of the tamari, is because I'm not sure how much is going to be in there, so I may toss it. Okay, I'm being nice, and I'm still in my 60s, but yeah, I mean, once I hit my 60s, gosh, there's just so many more doctor's appointments, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. How I feel some days. So, oh, that worked out really well. Okay. All right, there we go. So, when that separated, the stuff was at the bottom. So, and then I need a 1/4 cup of honey. That's a lot of honey. Okay, I'm not going to do that way because it's going to make me crazy. A little more. So anyway. All right, tell me, Joan, what's the weather like where you are? We get a little reprieve the next couple of days, which is lovely, at least for the temperature. We still have a really unhealthy air quality right now. Just a tiny bit more. So it's going up to 87 here today, Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is in Celsius, to be honest. But okay, that's just about right. Actually, no, it's not. I need a little bit more. And that will do in this. I have like 3 things of honey that came from different places. But that'll do that one in. So I've done in a tamari, and I've done in a... I'm about to do in a ketchup as well. All right. IT guy, if you can hear me, I'm going to need another ketchup because I don't know if this is going to be enough. I knew there was something else I needed from downstairs. If I thought about it, I could have just mixed it all in here, to be honest. But no, I need you to go downstairs and get one. The body language. Hilarious. All right, so that one will go. I got to wash my fingers off because I got ketchup all over me. So, oh, goodness me. All right, I'll bring that up. I'll get a little more ketchup done. I need 2 tablespoons worth of that. I need 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. And because of the sugar thing, yep, typical Florida July weather. It was probably 20 years ago when we were TMI, two of my children were conceived in Florida. I got married the last week of June, and we went to Disney for our honeymoon. And then my brother started working for Disney as well. And so for me, Disney was a cheap vacation for a while. So we spent a lot of time in June down there. And one year we went in July. And my goodness, the weather was something else. All right, I'm going to wipe this off so I can, I want to go and clean. So, yeah, we had Joan, I know you're originally not from Florida. We had a like all afternoon rumbly thunderstorm kind of week, summer kind of storm come through here the other day. I can't remember the last time we had like an all afternoon bunch of rumbling thunderstorms. It was wild. So that's 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, and 3. And this is Truvia. It's their brown sugar. So it's got a hint of molasses in there, which will make it nice and kind of caramely. But yeah, we got thrown off the monorail at Disney. Even though it wasn't moving, we weren't allowed to be on it. We had to go out on the platform. It was hailing. That was fun. Not. All right, so a little bit of rice vinegar, 2 tablespoons, 1 1,000, 2 1,000. And then we need a tablespoon of sesame oil. And that was, I said to my husband, we had really some butt kicking storms. And I was like, I don't think we're going to come back here in June or July anymore. It was pretty wild. Okay, and then I need 2 teaspoons this time. You know what? I'm going to use half a tablespoon instead. I'm going to use half a tablespoon of cornstarch. You could use arrowroot powder if you prefer. Tapioca starch, any of those would work. And then this calls for 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds. I am going to use both black and regular. I'll add a little more of the regular ones. So, but just kind of gives it a different look. So, yeah, I'm sure you do get used to it. It's like people who aren't from here are freaked out by tornadoes, and I'm like, you can hide from them for the most part. Earthquakes, those freak me out because I'm like, you can't hide from those things. And then we're going to go with 2 tablespoons of some green onions. I pulled a couple of the ones that I had out in the garden. So, chop those up this morning. I will, after I look at what recipes I'm making, I'll either put these in the fridge or freeze them. And I'm going to get a different, probably should have used the smaller one on that, but you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to switch them out. They're just going to be a little different. All right. We're going to mix that up. Mixy, as they say. Hi, Ruby. Good to see ya. We're making sesame chicken and cauliflower fried rice, and I'm starting off with the sauces today. So, how's the air quality where you are, girl? So, I I know Chicago's horrible, so if you're in northern Indiana, you're gonna be in a bad, oh my God, a bad way too. All right, so all right, here we go. I'm gonna put this to the side. This is our sesame chicken. We've got our stir fry sauce here. And before we get started, because I've been known to forget about this stuff, we're going to put 3 eggs in here. For our fried rice. Yeah, we do too. Which is a bummer because like our temperatures are good, but the air quality is bad. Good air quality around here is a 30. We're at about 100 right now. And Chicago's worse. Chicago looks like it's got some kind of weird fog. Just going to rinse my fingers off again. Alrighty. I heard I don't know if any of you have ever been to Boundary Waters, but they have, as of, I think it was Saturday, they had 77,000 acres of Boundary Waters had a forest fire as well. So it's a mess. Anybody with asthma in the Chicago area is just suffering. So anyway, but all right, so there we are. We got all of our components put together. Next up, we're gonna hit the wok. Can't go as high with the temp if you're using olive oil. So if you want to use something else, some kind of vegetable oil, and if you use vegetable oil combined with olive oil, that can also be helpful. I'm just going to go with the olive oil today. So I believe that because I know you were from northern New York, so it's a mess, y'all. It is such a mess. So anyway, none of us are immune, that's for sure, from this stuff. But yeah, we were talking about that, Ruby, before you came in, and it was like, I remember the kids from the East Coast when I was a kid, when I was in college, like the only thing they were worried about was a house fire because nothing else really meant anything to them, if that makes sense. I was like, wow, that must be amazing that you have zero fear of nature. All right. Today I'm going to throw some broccoli in with my cauliflower rice because, you know, more brassicas. Why not? Cut that open. I drained it because if you know anything about broccoli, when you thaw it, it tends to get a lot of liquid. So we got that wok heating up. So talk to me. What if you were going to order Chinese? Because sesame chicken is pretty much a Chinese dish. If you were going to order Chinese, what would you? What's your normal order? This used to be mine until I went gluten free, and I never really thought about doing this before until today. I'm pretty excited about it. All right, I'm going to toss one of the carrots in and see if it's ready. So, okay. Hi, Chad. Welcome in. We're making sesame chicken and cauliflower fried rice. So for right now, what sounds like our oil is ready. I'm going to toss in you know what? I'm going to do the eggs first. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But today, I'm going to toss those eggs in and let them just cook on their own. So sometimes I stir them in, sometimes I make them separate. Just depends on the mood. Today, that's the mood. So put some water in this so we don't get it stuck on. Thought my wok was flat, but I guess it's not. You find out on this thing really quickly. So, hi Sharon, welcome in. Today we're going Asian. Today we're doing sesame chicken and cauliflower fried rice. So I'm just cooking up some eggs for the fried rice here. Getting those done. I'm going to pull those out of the wok. Let those cool, and then I'll chop them up real quick. So that's level 1. Now, when you've got the cauliflower rice, it's a little different. When I make fried rice, I typically put the rice in last, but when I make cauliflower fried rice, I put the cauliflower rice in first because that, doing great, Chad. I put the cauliflower rice in first because sometimes it releases its water and that gives it a chance to dry out a little bit. So, we were, as always, we're discussing the weather. We're getting a little bit of a reprieve here today. It's 87, and then we're going to have a couple days where it's a lot cooler. So that's awesome. So if you want to tell us where you are and what the weather is, Joan and I were discussing. She's got thunderstorms. She's in Florida. I've got heat and terrible air quality, and I'm in Ohio. So there's our girl, Christy. All right, so that's pretty dry, which is great. All right, I'm going to toss in some carrots, some peas. They're still a little frozen. That's okay. They'll still have a little crunch then when we're done. But then we're going to work that in there. So, kind of looks like regular fried rice, right? So, now I'm going to add broccoli to this just because I want some extra veg today. I don't know. We didn't eat as healthy as we normally do over the weekend, and I'm feeling it. So I'm like, give me the veg. Of course, then again, we're going to turn around and we're going to make these. If you guys remember, some of you were here. I know that. Nice that you have a good day. The gluten-free chicken nuggets that we had, especially the ones that were like the really lightly breaded ones. We're going to try using that as our chicken for the set. I got the hiccups. Sesame chicken. I hardly ever get the hiccups, you guys. So to have hiccups is weird for me. The only time I used to get them often was when I was pregnant. And I think that was just because everything was all weird. So. So I'm chopping up this broccoli just so it's not too big because I love Costco broccoli. But if you're putting it in something other than eating it by itself, it's kind of large. Matter of fact, this one's gonna, but you chop it down a little bit and it's just fine. Then we've got the beautiful green, the beautiful orange from the carrot, and we're gonna cover it all in sauce. I like them too. I think they're really good. But it just, the other day I was like, I saw I think I saw a commercial or something. It had sesame chicken on. I was like, oh, that was my favorite. And I haven't had it since going gluten free because of wheat. So, and a lot of things that are fried in Asian food are covered with cornstarch, but sadly, not sesame chicken. And really, the difference between sesame chicken and like General Tso's chicken is the spice level. And as y'all know, I'm a baby about spice. So, nice. Sunny Miami Beach. Gorgeous down there. I haven't been there in years. Last time I was there was for an Orange Bowl. Back in the day when my son was actually still in high school. That man is now married with children. So, it was the first year of the national championship games that they do now, this type of series. All right, so now we've got our homemade stir-fry sauce. I don't know if I'm going to put all that on there. That's a lot of stir-fry sauce. So I'm just going to pour some of it out there. I mean, it's got corn syrup in it, so it's going to thicken up. But we're going to put that in there, coat everything up. So... oh, that's so good, Mama Bear. I love that you feel better. So yeah, I have a gluten intolerance. I'm not celiac, but so you'll find when I do things where it's, you know, where a celiac needs to take an extra step, you'll hear that from me. I will let you know. So okay, that all absorbed. I'm gonna put a little more in. I put a new tablecloth on, so I want to make sure I take care of my tablecloth, at least for a couple of days, right? And I want it to go get all weird. But anyway, so yeah, we cook pretty much, we cook about 4 days a week. Everything I make is gluten-free. I've tried gluten-free things that sometimes work out great. I do a lot of experiments. Today we're experimenting, as a matter of fact, with a stir-fry sauce. We do not have those recipes in the comments right now because I'm trying them out. If they're good, I will put them in the description, and or we will make a video of it. So there we go. So we've got this beautiful cauliflower fried rice. I'm going to put that over on the stove here. And then I'm going to start up the nuggets because they only take about 6 minutes. So put this over a bowl because it's already been sprayed with, and I'll be really careful about that. I will turn it down some though. So first thing done, and then we'll get these guys going in the air fryer. I'm probably going to finish this because this will be for the whole family. And there might be leftovers. Who knows? So these are the Tyson high protein unbreaded chicken nuggets is what they're called. And we've tried these before. Simple ingredients. They are labeled gluten free, just so you know. And they are made with, they've got some mozzarella cheese in them, Parmesan cheese, black pepper, garlic powder, salt, vinegar. There's, like I said, there's some milk in here. Some people who have celiac cannot do milk. God bless them. They can't do dairy. Although some of them who can't do dairy can do yogurt, which is an interesting thing. So we are going to put that on. It's called This Cook Slow, for those who don't know. So even though it says on, it'll say like this is 330 for 6 minutes. We are going to go 375 for 6 minutes, and hopefully that will work. In the meantime, I have the sauce from, and for this one, I think we're going to do, just in case I have to turn it up, I'm going to use one of my pans that's not a non-stick. So we're going to warm that up. We're going to put the sauce in there because it's going to thicken up. It's got some cornstarch in there. Put that in the sink. And again, I'm going to fill this up so it doesn't, it's very sticky because it's got that lovely honey in it. So we're going to let that do its thing. Actually, I'm going to grab the whisk. So, yep, I hope you love it here. And Mama Bear, if you have any questions, pop them in there. I'll try to answer any questions. And I also have a Facebook page, so if you want to send me a message, Gluten Free From the 513 is there. By the way, if y'all didn't notice, look, isn't that cute? I have a friend who has a cricket, and she made that for me. She's going to make me one for my white apron as well. So I'm really excited about that. Okay, this is starting to bubble just a little bit. So we're going to keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't scorch. So hi, Bianca, welcome in. We are making gluten-free sesame chicken and cauliflower fried rice. And for those who are kind of new to the page and stuff, I'm gluten-free, but as much as I can, I stay grain-free. Because if I eat a lot of grains, sometimes it hurts my stomach as well. So, yeah, didn't she do it? Now, my son drew this. IT guy actually created the logo. And then she put it on helped me put it on this apron. So I am so grateful for that. I've been wanting to do this from the very beginning, and we finally got it to work out. So I was really excited about it. And then I have another friend who embroiders, who I'm hoping to get some aprons in with her as well. So we'll see. Alaska. Wow, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. One of those places I really want to go. You are one of 2 states I have not been to. The other one is the other one that I have to leave the contiguous, the lower 40 to get to. So I love that. Oh yeah, and not everybody here is gluten-free either, but there are ways that, like some of us have gluten. I'm gluten-free, but other people have family members who are. Some are just here because they're my friends. Some are just here because we hang out and we have fun. We talk about food. We talk about the weather. We talk about where we live. We're from all over the place. So Joan here is in Florida. You're in Alaska. Christy's in New Jersey. I'm in Ohio. Ruby's next door. And okay, I'm going to turn this way down because it's starting to thicken up. Ruby's next door in Indiana. So we're kind of all over the place. We do have people pop in from around the world. And like I said, today we're going to try this. I hope it tastes like sesame chicken. I really do. So You know, it's funny, Brenda. I have a friend on Facebook. I forgot how we got connected, but she's from Haines, and she was in the big landslide or mudslide several years ago, and she struggles with seasonal depression. So she lives half the year in Alaska. As soon as her kids get out of school, they head for Alaska. She loves it up there. But because she's got some seasonal issues, they spend the school year in Florida. So it's been a really interesting journey watching her with what she does. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just turn this thing off because it stays hot for a while. But you can see it's really thickened up. So hopefully that'll coat the chicken really well. And then I've got two sets. We've got the other set. All right. These are really good too. These just work better for what we're doing today. And we'll see if I need more, I might go ahead and make these guys and sauce them as well a little bit later. But for now, we're just going to stick with the Tyson ones because they just kind of suit the purpose, if you will. So oh, awesome. Joan's originally from there. So um, I think some emotional people do. I'm an emotional person, and for the most part, I accept apologies. So we all make mistakes. So I wouldn't apologize in the moment when they're emotional, but if it comes back heartfelt, heck yeah. So look at that. Nice and thick now. I love it when it works. Y'all know I get excited when my experiments work. So alrighty. So we're good. We're right there. I just got to get these nuggies done. We'll see how they are. They're about done here. I'm gonna grab out my handy dandy gloves. And again, I'm going to put this to the side because it's burbling away and I don't want it to scorch. We made steaks yesterday and they were thick. So I needed the uh, oil to be hot. And unfortunately, I love the flavor of the oil and I'll cook other things in the oil. I scorched it and it was not the best I've ever made. So that was a bummer. All right. I'm going to pull these guys out of here. And because they're not breaded, I don't really have to worry too much about I just need to make sure they're hot all the way through because we're not going to cook them anymore. So I'm going to grab, I got a plate right here. A little paper plate here. So thank you. Every once in a while I get these sauces right. Okay, they're still, thank God they're fully cooked because they're still a little chilly inside. So we're gonna go 5 minutes this time. Get them warmed up through. So but yeah, I'm gonna be really interested to see. Okay. While I do that, while we wait, I'm going to eat in one of my Asian bowls. So I'm gonna grab a serving of the rice. And we'll get that all ready to go. All right. Are you chopsticks people or not chopsticks people? Always want to know. So I learned I have an aunt who was Vietnamese. She just recently passed. And I have all kinds of chopsticks in my drawer. I mean, to the point where, yes, I have 3 different chopsticks here. I think. Yep, different sizes. And then my daughter-in-law is half Korean. And Koreans use round chopsticks. Now, they're all round at the end. And yes, I'm sure there's a better way to organize these, but all right, there's that one and that. So I learned how to use chopsticks when I was a kid. Pretty good at it, actually. I can pluck stuff out of rice. Not mad about that. It's good. I'm not sure if my family's going to like that or not. We'll have to find out. So now my husband, he will add hot sauce to this. And actually that stir fry sauce, next time I might add a little like sweet chili sauce to it. I think that would be good. Yes. I always have we always have chopsticks. As a matter of fact, my son made himself pot stickers for lunch. IT guy made himself pot stickers for lunch, and he always eats them with chopsticks. So, just who we are. All right. I'm going to get this ready. I'm going to get some of this. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to dirty another bowl at this point. I'm going to put this back on here. It's good and thick now. Look at that. That's going to coat so well. I just hope it tastes good. And it'll be, you know, it's a first time, and we pretty much followed the recipe other than the fact that I use like gluten free whenever I needed to. So, you know, the thing is, if you're older like I am, you think about how you're supposed to hold a pencil, right? Like that. And then the other one goes in here. And then I use this like a pencil. And that's how I'm able to do that. This is a stabilization right here. And then I use the other one that way. Now my aunt, she would hold them way back here. And she was just so adept. It was amazing to watch. So we have, you know what? I think we're going to be good. Go ahead and stop those. Yeah, I think they're fine. And that's hot to begin with. So I don't want to overdo. So I am going to just push about just a few of them in there to get them sauced up. If they're really good, then I'll sauce the rest of them later. But I'm going to put that in there so we don't waste them. Okay. And then I'm going to toss these guys in the sauce. Get them all sauced up. Excuse me, like I said, brand new tablecloth. We'll get the spills right away. So, yes, it looks exactly like the old one. Alrighty. Now, it's been a while since I had sesame chicken, but I will let you know. Oh, goodness me. So, taste testing time. Hot. Quite hot. We're going to give it a second to cool. I can tell you the sauce is good, though. Here's something interesting I learned. Most people don't normally pick things up. So, in a lot of cultures, they have a bowl of rice and they put stuff on top of the rice and they actually kind of just like shovel it in, which is an interesting thought, which we don't really learn. Now, They can pick things out like this just because they've used them for so long, but they don't always eat like that. Often they'll have like a family style dinner, and for meat and things like that, they'll pick it and put it on their rice and then put these down. They actually have little rests that you can get for chopsticks that are specifically for chopsticks, because it is in some cultures this is considered bad form. In other cultures it's not. You don't leave them like that in any culture that I know of, because that is considered a level of rudeness. I try to follow as much as I can. I love that word, put things on the hob. Okay, let's see if this is cooled down enough to try. Okay. As somebody who hasn't had sesame chicken in a very long while, this is wonderful. Because it's got the cheese on it, doesn't taste authentic. I am going to try the other ones later. Probably should have cooked some of those at the same time just to see what the difference is. But this sauce is great. The stir fry sauce is okay. I'm not super in love with that, so I'm going to have to play with that one. Like I said, I think a little bit of the Asian Thai chili sauce would be, the sweet Thai chili sauce would be good with that. But this, oh man, that sauce is great. So I call a hob a stovetop. What do you call it? What do you guys call it? And is your hob separate from your oven, Sharon? Just curious. See, this is where we learn. For us here in the United States, it's some places have the hob and they have their oven separately, but a lot of people have it all in one unit. So on my stove, I would call this a success. Yes, the stir fry sauce is a half a success. Um, my stove has 4 burners on the top. Then I have an oven and a broiler, so mine are all in one unit. So it's a pretty common term in England to call the burners the hob. So see, I love this kind of stuff. Telling you, I love the chicken. I'm actually excited to try the other nuggets because I think it's going to be even better. So anyway, if you want to hang around, I can make some. Let's do that. It's up to you guys. But I'm going to throw this lot in here. And you know, something I might do with this would be do like a breaded chicken. Come on, Parmesan. A Parmigiana with this because it already has the like slight cheesy flavor. If you did this with a Parmesan sauce and put it over like gluten-free pasta, that would be so good. All right, let's throw some of these guys in here. like I said, these are, we're going to do these at 400 for about 7 minutes, I think. I'm just going to grab a few of those. So what happened? A bunch of your messages got retracted. That's weird. IT guy, what's going on? Why were their messages retracted? Stupid. Sometimes there's a bot, and sometimes it just randomly does stuff like this. So please know that if your message got retracted, wasn't us, because I know none of you did anything. Yes, IT guy can do it if somebody's being a jerk, but weird, huh? So let's put these in here. I'm gonna crank it up to 400. Now let's go 425 just for fun. And then let's just go for 6 minutes and see what we get. So, sorry, I can't see chat for a minute because IT guys got it. So, he can go try to figure out what happened. Maybe it had a problem with the word hob, that it didn't know what it meant. So, people find the weirdest ways to say terrible things on the internet. So, who knows? Every once in a while, I get a video from the wrong side of whatever platform I'm on. And I am reminded that while I am doing my best to be a light in the world, other people are not. And it stinks to me that happens. So, like I said, I will put I'll put the recipe for that, for the sesame chicken in there. So good. And honestly, if you don't have to be gluten free, obviously you don't have to use. I use tamari because it tends to have less sodium than soy sauce. But if you're somebody who follows me regularly, if I use tamari, feel free to use soy sauce. If I use something like gluten free hoisin sauce, use regular. It's, most of those things are pretty much interchangeable. I'm really happy about that. Now my family will use probably other sauces, although they'll try this. I know they all will. But I'm gonna nibble on this cauliflower rice all week. So that'll be great. I don't know about you, but I can eat things for a few days, but then I'm like, I'm done. So the enchilada casserole was like that. Did you figure it out? Okay. Oh, for sure. Okay. For some reason, Christy, I thought you might be one of those people. So my brother has that, where well, they don't have a wall oven, but I think their hob is separated. So oh, double oven, that's wonderful. Hi, Joanne. Welcome in. Today we've made sesame chicken and we've made cauliflower fried rice. I made some homemade sauces for that. The sesame chicken is amazing. We've made some nuggets that are Tyson nuggets. Got a little cheese in them, so that it's a little odd. But, oh, okay. Well, it said retracted, so, sorry, IT guy was explaining to me what was happening, so. No, what I put into the air fryer is this batch are from Applegate, and they're gluten-free nuggets. These were everyone's favorites when we tried the gluten-free nuggets. We tried Purdue, we tried Applegate, and we tried the Tyson. Applegate were hands down our favorite chicken nugget that was gluten-free of everybody. Like all three of us were like, this one's the best. The Purdue, and I have their chicken tenders. You have to really cook them well, or they're a little gummy. And then the Tyson are good, but because they don't have a lot of breading, we thought they would be really good, like to sauce them. Like I said, I think my family is going to prefer a different sauce because they do have a little cheesy flavor to them. So that'll be done in a few minutes. I'm going to try that with the sauce and we'll see how it goes. But I didn't even realize how cheesy these were until I put them in that sauce. And like I said, I think they would be great for a marinara and some cheese. Oh, that'd be so good. Anyway, while we're waiting on those, tomorrow we're doing a Cincinnati staple. I used some AI and I was like, so tell me something fun and different I can make. And they came back with this idea to make a skyline smash burger taco. So we're going to try that tomorrow. I've got regular skyline. And for anybody, Sharon, I know you're from the UK, so skyline chili is something native to where I live. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio, in the United States. And that is a local food. It is a Greek style chili. Yeah, those aren't quite done yet. It's a Greek style chili. Delicious to some people. Other people are like, this is the weirdest thing ever. It's got a lot of warm spices in it, like cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, allspice. There's always been a great debate. The two major chains here swear there's no chocolate in them. Others have said they are. So, anyway, we are going to make a skyline chili smash burger taco tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. And then Wednesday, can't remember what we're making Wednesday, but then Thursday we're making beef Wellington bites. I'm really looking forward to that. Beef Wellington, if you've ever made it before, takes anywhere from 48 to 72 hours. It's a long process to make a Wellington. And after making it, now I know why people will, like restaurants will say you need to give them 24-hour notice before, if you're going to order a Wellington. Because you sear your meat and then you cover it and then you refrigerate it and then you make your duck cells and then you put those on and then it's like 3 chilling processes and then you cook it. So you know what, Ruby, there are things called rice paper that that a lot of people will use that as a substitute. It's not the same. There's also recipes out there um, for gluten-free egg roll wrappers. I tried one and it was actually a pierogi mix, and I didn't roll it out thin enough. So it didn't do the job I wanted it to do. I made dumplings with it, but it is definitely, something I would love to try, because that was one of the last things I quit eating was egg rolls, because I just love the filling, and you know, but once it starts making you sick, you just got to stop. Um, so anyway, but it's what it is, which is why we adapt, which is why we try to find other things or whatever. So if I pull in one of these guys out, we'll see if it's done in the middle. I'll let these guys keep cooking while we do that. Check the middle of it. Make sure it's not pink or anything in there. It is not pink. And the next question is it hot? It is. Okay. So toss these guys in the sauce. And then I'll pull those other ones out real quick. I'll let these sit to the side for a sec. This is what happens on experiment day. Sometimes we have to just kind of keep going and seeing what's going to be next, what's going to be next, what's going to be next. So we'll turn that off for now. Again, we're going to sauce these guys up. I would 100% make this sauce again. I'm just delighted with how it turned out. So I hope the rest of the family likes it. That might go into our rotation. You know, that's the hardest thing about cooking 4 days a week online is they don't repeat a lot. And some of our standbys aren't getting cooked as often as they normally do. But oh yeah, that's even better. That's actually more like regular sesame chicken, because it's got that little extra breading on it. So good. All right, Mama Bear. Thanks for stopping in. We're here Monday through Thursday, same time, wherever you happen to be. I think you said you're in New York, so you're in the same time zone I'm in. So we're here at 3:30, and we'll be back again, like I said, tomorrow. Would love to have you join us. And for everybody else, like I said, these things were amazing. I'm going to tweak that stir fry sauce. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. But these, oh my gosh, with the Applegate chicken nuggets, in the sauce, perfect. And I will put the recipe for the sesame chicken sauce in the description of the video. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful rest of your day. As I always say, eat well, be well, and I love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.